The mysterious deaths of pelicans, turtles and countless fish.
Why thousands of fish died.
Yet again, dead fish have been spotted along the shore.
Residents who are now demanding action. The dead and dying creatures have been found around Bushell's Lagoon near Wilberforce.
But this devastation of aquatic life, including pelicans, native eels, water hens and turtles, has worsened in the last week.
But suddenly it's as if someone's drained a plug.
Locals say this goes far beyond a drought. Most put it down to a combination of unusually high water temperatures.
More than 200,000 saiga antelope dropped dead in 2015, devastating the population. Scientists discovered that the animals died from hemorrhagic septicemia, a severe bacterial disease that can cause internal bleeding and blood poisoning. However, researchers were baffled since the bacteria that infected the animals had been in their bodies previously and was seemingly harmless.
Have been spotted along the shoreline at beaches in La Brea. Since 2013, the problem of dead fish washing ashore in the area has been occurring, and although tests conducted by the EMA each year indicate that Corexit was not responsible for the fish kill in La Brea, General Secretary of the Fishermen and Friends of the Sea, Gary Aboud, believes that their findings
In Wheat Ridge, many people are worrying about things that go bump in the night, or should we say boom. Stan, what's going on out there?
Well, Wheat Ridge police say they are looking into something that is truly a mystery to them. Too many people have reported being woken up in the middle of the night to an explosion sound, too many to make it be a fluke.
Reports of an explosion or maybe just some sort of loud noise that are waking people up in the middle of the night and nobody can figure out what it is.
And Wheat Ridge police say their own officers have heard it too.
I've heard them constantly. They've woken me up a few times.
Startling residents out of their sleep, shaking homes, setting off car alarms. But what is it?
To me, it sounds like a very large explosion. Like
Sarah Anthony heard that strange boom in the night 3 weeks ago.
I was dead asleep, so what was that? And then just kind of fall back asleep.
She says she's heard it off and on for more than 6 months, and never more than once in a single night. It's a mystery befuddling Wheat Ridge police and neighbors in the surrounding area. Investigators have responded to dozens of concerns online, though around 3 or 4 in the morning, when the boom allegedly goes off, no one has called 911 to report it, leaving videos like this at
Smith says it came out of nowhere.
Vibration, big boom, first the big boom and then vibration.
His neighbor across the street describes the same scenario.
Picture frames on the walls, they were rattling, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
With the Sooner State's infamous seismic activity, it seemed there could only be one explanation.
We thought we had an earthquake, and we waited and looked on the news and everywhere else. Nobody posted anything, so we had no idea what it was.
Recent data doesn't show any quakes in the area, but phone calls from concerned citizens still overwhelmed dispatchers.
Since nobody's saying anything, we don't know what it was. It makes you wonder if they're hiding stuff, and, things are going on.
Heard and felt last night in the western Piedmont.
The U.S. Marines, the FAA, and a number of other organizations to try and figure all of this out. And even after all of those big name calls, we unfortunately still don't have a why or what caused this, but we do have a few people that we spoke with who actually heard it.
We're watching the Olympics, and it was just before 10 or 10, somewhere around there, and we heard this whoop, just like that. And I thought, what in the world is that?
Now, just before 10 last night, we got dozens of reports of people hearing a very loud boom in the Western Triad.
What was behind these booms?
Well, you know, those agencies didn't have any reports, but they were aware of the social media buzz and that online conversation about what people heard and felt here in Seneca and in other communities across Oconee County last night at about 10 p.m.
Well, last night I was getting ready to go to bed. My husband had already went to bed, and all of a sudden there was a big boom sound, and the house actually shook and rattled.
The day of March is supposed to hint at the spring to come. There's little evidence of it here. After a visit from the beast from the east, the worst storm to hit Britain in 17 years.
It's unbelievable. Mother Nature has gone completely crazy.
The Colosseum caught up in the middle of a snowstorm.
Check this out, a rare snowfall. Yes, that is Rome, the Italian city covered in white.
The Vatican, too, is almost unrecognizable under a white blanket of snow.
Dozens of people, mainly rough sleepers, have been reported dead across Europe. Snowstorms of this severity are highly unusual in Europe at this time of the year, and they've affected countries all the way from the far north down to the Mediterranean. It may look pretty, but these storms have been highly disruptive.
Parts of Europe are colder than the Arctic as the wintry blast, known as the Beast from the East, pummels the continent.
The Beast now has a bite. Arctic air in Britain causing chaos. The storm swept through suddenly. Sub-zero temperatures and clouds filled with snow, momentarily creating blizzard-like conditions around London's landmarks.
It's unbelievable.
Stacking up literally on the Great Lakes near Mackinac Island. Huge blocks of blue ice are pushing up onto the northern edge of Lake Michigan. That rich blue color appears when the ice is so dense, air bubbles can't form to spread out the reflection of light.